It's time to have a real convo, a show that brings hope and awareness to those affected by suicide and mental health. Being affected by both, American Foundation for Suicide Prevention, Southeast Florida board member Alan Mednick, and children's book author Miranda Kahn breaks the stigma that no one ever feels alone. With the help from influential guests, the real convo starts now. Hey everyone, we're here again, Miranda Kahn and myself, Alan Mednick at Real Convo. Again, we want to spread the word that there is hope out there, and that just because you're so-called quarantined and isolated, it's only a physical thing and it's not a mental thing. So we have some guests today that are going to really show that point and get you in, hopefully into a better mental health state of mind and keep you there. I do want to mention one thing, Miranda, if I could just read something real quick, if you don't mind.
Yeah, do it. Go.
Because I love this. I'm a big Rocky nut. I love Rocky. I'm sure a lot of people do. But the best quote of all is, it ain't about how hard you hit. It's about how hard you can get hit and keep moving forward. And yes. I think that's where we are right now. I think this coronavirus has hit a lot of us pretty hard. But it's how do we get into that mental state? And that's the first thing we got to do. We got to get into that proper mental state to really start moving forward. And I'm sure you, let me get your thoughts on that.
Me personally?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you know how I feel about that. I mean, that's why we're doing this whole podcast today. I'm all about like people staying active. You know, truth be told, I have a lot of people that think I've been working out forever. I was not athletically inclined whatsoever as a teenager, and I didn't start working out till probably around 23, and I hated going to the gym, and I think I probably spent 5 or 10 minutes at home working out because I was too embarrassed to go to the gym,
right? Which
makes no sense whatsoever.
So that's the biggest.
That changed my life, like mentally and physically. That was one of the best things I ever did. And I started off small, like 10 minutes, 15 minutes, 20 minutes, 30 minutes. And that's why I wanted to bring these ladies on. It's the ladies hour. Look at that. Look at that. So should I go ahead and introduce our guest because I'm so excited?
Absolutely. Please do.
Okay. So you mentioned the whole social distancing and we said physical, but physical doesn't mean that you can't be physically active. And that's what we're trying to instill in people today. So if you look towards our screen and everybody can just wave, this is Jessica Prestia. She is a Reiki master and a certified meditation and sound healer, among many other things. She's a jack of all trades. Also joining us is Michelle Marie Diaz. And I actually met Michelle Marie Diaz probably like 10 years ago.
Yeah.
Right? When I was hosting another show for like working moms. And she's so inspiring. And she taught me so much, so I had to have her come on. Also with us is Fern Kahn. No relation whatsoever, completely different spelling. But I met Fern through Jessica, and we'll go through this whole story. But Fern Kahn is a certified yoga instructor and owner of the studio called Dancing Lion Studio. They offer a bunch of different workshops. So I was thinking when we were going through all this that people were going to stop being active or not taking time to look within themselves. And so who better to have on than these women? And all of you have been so innovative with the coronavirus. So I want to start off with, let's start off with you, Michelle, if we can.
Yeah, actually, Alan, you were talking about mindset, and I do believe that is incredibly important, and that is actually everything. And for me, I actually had a little bit of a breakthrough this morning because, you know, nobody's going to be active if you don't change your mindset. So it's hard what we're going through, right? And every week it kind of changes. And every week every day we realize that this is not just going to be this week. Like we're in this and we're in this for a long time. And for me, my personal experience was today when I realized I woke up on Monday morning for the first week of homeschool. And my husband is like, it's only Monday. Could you please like sit down? I was so tense and so upset and so annoyed because I run a business, I have employees, work from home, and I'm so anxious from Sunday
and you
night.
have 2 little ones.
Yeah, going, how am I going to run my business and work? And I have these 2 kids that I have to teach them 2 different grades. I've got my husband home. He's doing conferences. And I literally fought all of last week with both my kids while homeschooling them. And I had the worst mom guilt, but I realized this week that I haven't had the right mindset. I was like, this is such an inconvenience. I can't believe I have to do this. When is this going to end? And then this week I was like, okay, this is my life. I've got to change my mindset around this. I've got to look at it from a different lens. This is what it is. This is going to be going on probably for the rest of the year. So I've got to figure it out, and I've got to make the best out of it. And so it's been so much better these first 2 days, Monday and Tuesday, just because I'm more calm. I've just embraced and accepted the fact that this is my life right now, and I've got to figure it out.
So that's a great point. So Michelle, that's a great point, because when somebody gets thrown into something, which we all got thrown into this right now, you know, you get off your schedule a little bit, and it's hard to get back on your schedule. And sometimes life passes by so fast that you don't take a breath to think about what's going on. One of the things that I talk about a lot is trying to get normalcy back in your life. It's kind of hard, but you try to do it as much as possible right now. So a lot of people say they can't go to the gym. The gym is closed down. Does that mean that you can't work out? You can't get into normal routine?
No, but you know what? I think that the hardest part for people is what we just talked about, is that you were just taken out of your normalcy. And while so many people actually only work out from home, there are still a huge population who does not, and is right now thinking, I miss my gym, I miss my workouts, I miss my classes, I miss the camaraderie of the gym, and I have my personal trainer, and I don't know how to do this on my own. And they're like, and I don't want to do this on my own, and I want to go to my gym. And so they're stuck because they're in the wrong mindset. So I think you have to first, like you were talking about, the first thing is changing your mindset and saying, this is what it is right now, and it is what it's going to be for a long time. So how can we find a fun way to exercise and find a new normal, right? Like, we need to find a new normal. So, and I want to talk about my own exercise right now, because I want people to understand it doesn't have to be the way it used to be. So for me, I've always been a morning person. I've always worked out at 5 o'clock in the morning. First thing I do. But right now, having both kids home, having my husband home, I've got to help them with school. So I didn't want to not waste, but I didn't want to use my morning hours for exercise because I had them, and they go outside in the afternoon. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to work out in the afternoon. So now I work out at 6:30, 6:45 in the evening, which I've never in my life had the energy to do ever. But it's become my new normal. And instead of being like, oh my gosh, I was just like, you know what? No, it's fun. The kids will be in the garage playing, riding their bike around the driveway. My husband will be, doing something in the garage, in the car, and I get my workout done. And so I've just changed my mindset about it. And I have a new normal. So now my new normal is I work out late afternoon.
Yeah.
And now I have so much energy. I have so much more energy in the evening, where usually in the evening I'm so tired, and it's like you need a second wind to do like bath time with the kids and dinner and all those things.
I'm exhausted just hearing that.
So it's like finding the little blessings or the little positive things that come out of a new normal. Like, a new normal can become better than your old normal.
Right. And I want to bring Jessica into this conversation, because I see her like nodding her head going, yes, it's all about the mindset. This coming from the Reiki master and certified meditation and sound healer instructor. I just want to get all those titles in there. She's a big deal. She's a big deal. But I hear you nodding your head. I've known Jessica for a few years now, and she has such an inspiring story, and I want to make sure we get to it, what kind of led her to where she is now. But I hear you nodding your head going, yes, I have to change that. And you're so good. You're masterful at doing exactly what Michelle was talking about. Can you explain how you've been able to do that?
Yeah, I think that what I'm noticing is that people are really trying to find ways to cope that are new to them. And so for me, I have to say that I, created this meditation group, and I'm having so many new friends join it that were not really ever into meditation before. And so for me, my whole journey of doing all the things that I do, all the titles, if you will, right, became out of a crisis. My sister was diagnosed with breast cancer in 2015. She then transitioned in 2018. But when she first was diagnosed, I basically said to myself, to add to kind of what Michelle was sharing, is I have to kind of create a new normal in my life, and I have to really think about how I want to go through this journey and how I want to define it in a way that allows me to be healthier and allows me to really show up and be there for my family. And that's where I started meditating. And to add to what you were saying, I think that a lot of times people go into something new and they're like, okay, I'm going to sit here for 30 minutes morning, every morning in stillness. And I had to gradually work my way up where it was like 5 minutes, 10 minutes to now where I, am doing it, twice a day for 30 minutes, of course, but it's a practice. And so that was a way for me to respond to my stress. It was a way for me to respond to my anxiety. So I was able to fully be present in everything that was happening with my sister, her diagnosis, having to work, having to do all the things that I was already doing in a more calm and efficient way. And it's really what I tell people too, is the benefits of meditation come outside of meditation. So, we have 60 to 80,000 thoughts a day. Stress, you can define it as when our needs are not being met. And so there's going to be these constant triggers that kind of, basically, bring up stress. And so it's how we respond to that. And so that's where meditation was huge for me.
So Jessica, first of all, you have an inspiring story, and I appreciate you being here. Again, all three of you are incredible, and they all match together. I mean, I believe you need physical to help with your mental, but you also have to explain to us a little bit about meditation, because when I think of meditation, I think of somebody just sitting there just with their eyes closed and I don't know what they're doing in their head. And I'd love to learn more about it too. And how it does help with you. I have anxiety. I have ADD. My mind can't focus. I can't stay still a lot. So how can meditation help with all these different avenues?
Good question.
Yeah, great question. So basically, what is wonderful about meditation is that it's basically can help how you respond to stress, how you respond to the flight or fight. That is what we all deal with when we are in stress. And so meditation allows you to just tune in, slow your breath, get reconnected to yourself so that you can feel that you can respond a different way to stress. Maybe it's through breath and breathing and pausing. And I think that anybody who's starting, and I love for Fern to join in too, because I know she knows a lot about meditation. I think anybody who's starting off with meditation, to start slow, just start with your breath, observing your breath. There's an awesome 16-second meditation that my meditation teacher, David G, does. We could do it now, actually. It's 16 seconds. So we can try it all together if you guys
Alan
want.
wants to do it. You want to do it?
Yeah.
I want to see it. Yeah.
Seconds.
Okay, let's do it.
So
let's do it.
You can either close your eyes or you can keep them open.
Okay.
Whatever feels good to you. I'll keep them open as we're guiding. And I want you to just go ahead and take a nice deep breath in for the count of 4. And I want you to hold that breath in for 4. And exhaling that out for 4. And holding that breath out for 4. 16 seconds right there. In those 16 seconds, you weren't thinking about the future. You weren't thinking about the past.
Yeah.
You weren't thinking about the future. You weren't thinking about the past. You were right here in this present moment.
Yeah.
And so you just meditated. Yeah. So for anybody who can't say that they've never meditated or they can't meditate, I love to teach that, because in 16 seconds, you can understand the benefit.
So is that what meditation basically is? It's more about controlling your breathing?
No, it's not about controlling your breathing, and it's not about controlling your mind, but it's just allowing yourself the time to just tune out so you can tune in to yourself. And I think a lot of the times people think that they're going to shut off the brain when they're meditating, and that's not going to happen. That's actually your mind doing its job. So it's just allowing yourself to be in the drifting moments of that thought and letting it go and coming back, letting it go and coming back by focusing on your breath.
I think there's also some neurological benefits to breathing.
Yes.
Like it resets your neurological system so that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Let's bring Fern into the conversation, because I know yoga also has a lot to do with breathing. And this is what you're certified in. But I know you do a bunch of different workshops. I've participated in them, love them. And explain to us a little bit about what your studio is and how the benefits of yoga.
Well, just to preface this, it's interesting because I'm also a certified personal trainer. I'm a 500-hour yoga teacher and meditation teacher, so I've combined both of Jess and experience. But I've been in.
We are none of those things. Alan and I are going, this is all we are.
That's awesome too.
So, I've been in the wellness field for over 30 years, and the studio began because it kind of fell into my lap right after my mom passed away. And I really wanted to take all of my life's experience and build a place where I can bring people together in community while using not only yoga and meditation, but all of the healing arts. Now, getting into the yoga, the very essence of the yoga practice is managing the fluctuations of the mind. Mm-hmm. All the yogis wanted is for us to have peace. Forgetting the asanas and the poses and standing on your head and handstands, which is part of yoga. But the real essence of it is to manage the fluctuations of the mind, to be the seer of our own thoughts and know these thoughts are not serving me. We cannot stop the mind from thinking. You cannot stop your mind from thinking. That's not meditation. But to have tools like pranayama, which is breath work, meditation like Jess just did, and the movement, which I love. I'm a professionally trained dancer my whole life, so the yoga, our issues live in our tissues. So to be able to move the body, and anybody can practice yoga. You do not have to be flexible to do yoga. That's a misnomer.
Good to know, Alan, right?
It is, because I want to get to a point on that, because when I was up in Massachusetts, the doctor, primary care doctor I had, actually wanted me to go to yoga for my anxiety. And she kept on pushing me. I never went. I looked into it. I had a friend of mine that actually, this guy was like 6'6", professional athlete, but he even told me that he went to yoga all the time. It helped him a lot, but it was tough. He had the best workout he ever had in his life. And he was a professional sculler, doing the rowboats and everything. But anyway, tell us a little bit about how that, why was the doctor so insistent on me going to yoga?
Exactly. I'm really glad. I'm not glad that you didn't do it.
I will start.
Now you're going to have no excuse. You guys are we're going to challenge you at the end of this, and you're going to challenge him, and I can't wait to see that video. But go ahead, Fern.
Talking about a shift. So now I am offering yoga on Zoom. We have like 3 or 4 classes a day. We have people coming from all over the country now practicing. But we have not only vinyasa, which is what you're probably thinking of, where the standing poses and the strong warrior, but I do a very special class called Release and Restore, which is a yin practice where it is, I guide you in movements of basic stretches per se, but then I get into the anxiety-producing thoughts. So by the time you leave there, we call it yoga stone. Jess has experienced
it. It's amazing.
You move, our energy is stored in the body. Stress, I like to say that every cell in the body eavesdrops on our thoughts. So you can feel physical pain from anxiety of your thoughts, from just being nervous. Like a lot of people now, they're feeling short of breath when they're not really ill. They're feeling aches and pains in the body. That's a manifestation of stress. Mm-hmm. So if we can move the body in ways that will help move the energy out, I get you to relax the muscles, to be mindful in this moment, to understand the precious nature of this moment, knowing that every moment is equal value. Yeah. So that if we can be present just now, not worry about the past, not worry about the future, we don't get into this mindset of anxiety.
So I do have to say one thing. The way you're talking, so soft and so calm, really relaxes you too.
She really is amazing at that.
Yeah.
I think you have a fan. I think definitely have a fan. He's going to start taking those classes for sure.
But Fern, you brought up a good point there, because you had mentioned how anxiety could actually cause pain. It could cause other things. And that's one of the things on the mental health side when we talk about suicide prevention and everything. And people don't realize that depression, that all these things that go along with people building up to the point where they think about taking their lives, it's a physical pain that builds up. And one of the things that I mentioned is I had a motorcycle accident in 2010. I broke 9 ribs. I broke my neck. I had a collapsed lung, the whole thing. Obviously painful. But people that are suicidal, the pain is probably 1,000 times more than what I went through on that accident. And it's a real physical pain. So that's what we're trying to do here. We're trying to get them to release the pain, I guess, from what you're saying.
Yeah. You're hearing a lot of shaming now that you shouldn't be fearful, or you see a lot of this, and I have the opposite point of view. I think that you need to name what you're feeling, which these people maybe be ashamed to name, so that you can deal with the emotions and either physically move them through the body or mentally move them through the body, so that you can understand that feelings are like visitors. They come and go. And if you're able to manage those, then maybe you can manage the physical pain of your day-to-day life.
Yeah.
All of us have modalities that will help do that.
I have to add to that point, Fern, because doing Reiki, so I also do Reiki, and I'm noticing that a lot of my clients,
wait,
like,
I'm going to
energetically,
right there real quick, Jess.
Yeah.
Just because there are going to be people that are going to go, what is Reiki?
Yeah.
So before you go into that, explain what Reiki is.
Including me.
Yeah. Well, the only reason, because it adds to Fern's point of what she's experiencing. So, but Reiki is a Japanese healing modality that uses energy from source, whatever that source is to you, God, spirit, the divine, universe. And basically your practitioner is just the conduit of that life force energy. That's what Reiki means. And it actually helps to move the chi, the energy in your body, where you have different blockages in your different aura fields as well.
What does that word chi mean? I've heard that a lot.
Chi, like energy, right? Fern, like life force energy.
In yoga, we call it prana. In Reiki, they call it chi.
Yeah.
So it's your life force. Like we all have, without sounding all woo-woo.
Alan's over here going, say what?
No, this is great. I'm loving this.
I think I'm learning a third language.
What makes us who we are, we have a physical realm, and we have this energetic, emotional, spiritual realm, without getting all religious or anything like that. It's this essence of energy of who we all are. That's chi, we call it prana, same thing.
Reiki calls it life force energy. And so, and then, to what Fern was saying, prior was that, noticing that, we might be holding on or feeling stuck, and so I'm noticing that a lot of my Reiki clients, when I'm moving their energy, that they're holding a lot of their emotions. And so that's where it's so important to doing things like what, Michelle's doing with personal training, or what Fern's doing with yoga or meditation, to help move those blockages through the body, because we store them. And I'm noticing more and more people are storing a lot, these days.
Yeah, that's funny that you say that, because I'm like so not a yoga person, even though I know I need it so badly in my life, because I'm just like a type A, go, go, go. But you guys are saying about like moving the energy through all of the yoga practices. And for me, that is like running it out or throwing weights around. Like that's how, like you were saying, you call it, right? So if like I'm going through something and I have like a thought or like, a block, or something's bothering me, or I'm upset or anxious about something, I'm just like, I need 20 minutes. Like I need to go for a run, or I need to go grab the weights and like work out. But like, I usually am pretty good about like saying, all right, something's not feeling right. I'm anxious. And then I know I got to move.
Right. Yeah. That's exactly. I think you and I are a lot alike there, Michelle. I want to go to something else real quickly, but before we go to that, Michelle, I want to talk about nutrition. But before we do that, I want to go to Jessica to talk about the Reiki classes, because you're doing this kind of virtual Reiki now.
Now I'm doing virtual Reiki. Fern totally helped me through this. I'm a Reiki practitioner at Dancing Lion Studio. So we're doing virtual Reiki. So it's really kind of amazing, because we do a guided meditation. A little bit of sound healing is in there as well. And then basically I'm sending distant Reiki energy to all the participants. And it's beautiful to see the shift, because everybody comes on and they're like, and then afterwards everybody's like, okay. And that's like the cool thing about like yoga and meditation and Reiki is like, at the end of a class, like, that you've done a great job, of people are like, that was great, versus like, yay.
Yeah. That's
so,
awesome.
But it's really interesting to send distant Reiki, and you can do it virtually out to the world. And it's beautiful, because it's basically just tons of healing energy going to all of your aura fields and your chakras. So it's really a nice reset, an energetic reset.
I have a question. I don't know if this is something that you guys can answer or not, but the other day we had Dr. Sinclair on, which was phenomenal. One of the things he mentions about your immune system, and the stronger your immune system is, the better you could beat this, and or at least fight the coronavirus. How does, I would imagine this would help you. Obviously, working out would help with your immune system. How does meditation, Reiki, yoga, how does that all help with you to fight, to battle something like this?
I know for me, for yoga, it is well documented that just calming the heart rate, allowing the blood to flow in the body, using greater breath through pranayama, all is scientifically proven to help your immune system. Having a strong mental state, it also strengthens muscles and elongates your connective tissue. So everything that we are doing, and all of us, help calm the nervous system, which helps balance the adrenals and the hormones in the body, which thus helps us create a stressless body, thus a higher and stronger immune system.
Right, because stress kills immune function.
Yeah,
exactly.
So I actually just spoke to one of my best friends. His name is Billy Beck III, and he actually works very closely with Tony Robbins. And so he has access to like the most powerful and smartest people in the world. And he had just spoken to all of the researchers about all of this. And I was like, okay, this is what I'm taking. This is what I'm giving my kids. And he was like, the number one thing that people can do right now is sleep. Because if you don't sleep, that's a stress to the body. He was like, sleep, make sure you're hydrated. And he's like, right now people are living from a place of fear and anxiety. And that is like the number one thing that is going to kill your immune function. So he was like, now is the time to pray and meditate and do all these things. But like, you know, people are like, what do we eat and what supplements you take? And what you eat and what you supplement is secondary to making sure you have enough sleep, making sure that you are hydrating well, and making sure that you are meditating or praying or doing something to calm your anxiety and to not live from a place of fear, because those are all the things that are going to suppress immune function. So I thought that was like really amazing, because people right now are like, is it elderberries? Is it mushrooms? Is it emergency?
You were actually reiterating what Dr. Sinclair said the other day when we had him on. He said the exact same thing: avoid sugar and get lots of sleep and drink lots of water. But having said that, I know how critical nutrition is. And I learned that from a trainer many years ago. I went from, again, not wanting to work out for like 10 minutes at home, that's about all I could do, to actually doing an amateur figure competition many moons ago. But the biggest thing I learned from that, Michelle, I want you to chime in, because you have a lot of working moms, especially with this, because I know that's kind of your target audience. Was the biggest thing I learned from that competition is how critical nutrition is. So real quickly, we only have about a few minutes left, but I just want you to go into what you offer and why that's so important.
Well, I'm really all about balance. I don't believe like that in extremes. I think that the first thing that people can do is make sure that they're not eating foods that are inflammatory, because again, that's a stress to the body. So not eating sugar and processed foods and artificial sweeteners and caffeine and alcohol and gluten and dairy, like those are all foods that are highly inflammatory. Aside from that, just sticking to whole natural foods. And I really don't believe in counting calories and macros and points and that kind of thing. I think it just makes people crazy and it makes people binge eat. And that's not really a lifestyle. I'm all about making this a lifestyle. And I mean, I almost got to the point where I did a competition, and I'm actually really against it now because I saw how sick I could have gotten. And I have a lot of friends in the industry who do competitions, and it's really, really hard. So you know, just eating in a balanced
This is
way.
why I did it once.
Yeah,
Once.
it's really tough. I mean, I really admire the people who do it because it's really tough.
Yeah.
But you could get such amazing results eating in a more balanced way.
And but
but
you
yeah.
offer meal planning. Just, I mean, so we
I
will give
do. So I
everybody
have-
the information, but real quickly, just give them the link if you can, just so if they want to have nutrition.
So I have an entire program where it's like complete meal plans and recipes and fat loss and weight loss strategies and toning strategies and whole library of workouts. And that's in my program called Fit Mom for Life. But I can give you a link where I have a free calendar. It's a 30-day calendar where I give you like 5 meals a day for 30 days with recipes and just like tips on how to meal prep and stuff. And I talk about all the inflammatory foods in there. So we can post the link when you
Yeah, I'm going to post it on with this video. I do have one quick question. Can this all be done at home? All three of you? Can everything at YouTube be?
100%.
Classes on Zoom right now. We're just like this. In fact, I taught a bar class this morning, a yoga bar, and a restorative yoga just today. And we have a full schedule of classes at Dancing Lion now where we have people calling in and linking in. And we also developed something called a Sangha, which is like a little community on Sundays where we talk about this stuff. We talk about how to manage our feelings with yoga principles, and it's really kind of fun. So I can give you that information as well.
Good, because I want to make sure we share that with all of our viewers. Jess, where
Yes,
can we find you?
You can find me at justbeinspired.com. Also, I do so many different things with Fern. I'm part of her community. So I have restorative Reiki to help you sleep on Thursday evenings. And I also have Sunday Reiki, which is Inspire Reiki to kind of get you re-inspired. And I even have a full moon event this evening with Dancing Lion. So I'm there, and then justbeinspired.com as well. And I have a free guided meditation group as well that you can follow on Facebook.
Yeah, so we're going to give that to all of our viewers so you guys all have that information, because I'm sure we're going to be inundated with questions. You guys all have Facebook groups and whatnot. But Alan, I know this is probably the wrong group to do this, but there's this little thing that we've been doing. This was actually your idea. You want to talk about it? The Real Convo Coronavirus Challenge?
Actually, I like the way you came up with it. But so we're doing a little bit of a challenge here. Again, you know, one of the main things is people are saying that, oh, I can't get to the gym. What am I going to do? We want to create a little bit of normalcy. We want to make sure that people are exercising. Obviously, you need to exercise to have a physical health, but also mental health too. It's really important. So we came up with a little bit of a challenge. Miranda has posted some exercises, which are probably a little bit better than mine, but I got out there and I did some exercises.
You were good.
Too. Yeah, they were okay. They were okay.
You were good.
I want to see you doing some yoga though, Alan.
We definitely will. I definitely want to do that, so we're definitely going to try that. But look, there's all different type of exercises you can do. So we're challenging everybody to send in your videos. Let us see you exercising. You know, send it to, where we send it to, Miranda?
You can tag Real Convo if you want.
Okay.
You can also tag me or Alan or whatever. Just tag us, submit the video, and then the idea is you challenge somebody else. And granted, we're talking to instructors that you do this for a living and you obviously stay fit. So, but I think it will inspire some people.
I do.
You do yoga. I see. I mean, you're pretty good. So don't sell yourself short.
So Jessica, I need to challenge you, and you need to challenge me with some yoga.
Yeah, Fern can challenge you on the yoga. I can challenge you in the meditation.
Oh, there we go. I need both of those.
I'll teach you
and
how
with the yoga, I need some simple ones. I can't have anything that's too strenuous right now. I'm trying to get in shape.
I have a habit of getting people to practice yoga without even knowing they're practicing yoga.
Okay, I like
That's
that.
What I need.
That's for him.
Well, I want to thank you all for coming on. You guys really brought a lot of information, great information that people need right now. Obviously, it's a tough time right now, but I'm looking at the positive light. I think there's going to be a lot that comes out of this, and hopefully people could create new habits now that are positive. So we got to get going. Time's running out. So I really appreciate it. Thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Stay well.
Thank you, too. And I just want to matter and let everybody know that you matter. So have a great day. Miranda, final words?
Final words. I want to see everyone live up to that Real Convo Coronavirus Challenge. Let's do it. Let's keep America physically and mentally healthy.
Yes.
You can do it.
Yes.
Let's do it. Have a great day, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.
Okay, and I think it says less than a minute, so I don't know if there's any time left, but I just wanted to make sure.
That's okay. We got
Oh,
it.
actually, it ended. Is it still going? I don't know if it's still going, but anyway, thank
Still
you everybody
recording.
so much. I really
you, guys.
appreciate
No
it.
problem.
You guys are
Thank you.
awesome.
Bye.
Thank
And I
you.
do want to
Yeah.
contact you guys because I do want to learn how to do yoga and the meditation. I really need this stuff. And working out, I need some great exercises and eating properly. So I appreciate
Do
all of
it.
you. Thank you
Reach
so
out.
much.
Bye, guys.
Take care.
Bye.
Bye.
And that's a Real Convo.